The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, good Monday morning, everyone. This is Mike Montefusco, National Weather Service, Wakefield, Virginia. This is our Monday weekly weather briefing for December 15th. We'll be running through the week ahead weather-wise. And just looking at the highlights of the week ahead, certainly the cold weather ongoing here is the big story here as we get into the week ahead. But looking at the next few days weather story, actually it's actually rather quiet weather story for the remainder of the week here. Relatively dry conditions for at least the midweek time frame. We are looking for a warmer weather system that will be approaching the region as we get into Thursday night time frame. Rain chances will increase Thursday night on into Friday morning with a dry and seasonable temperature pattern thereafter as we get into next weekend. On the marine side, we are looking at small craft advisories that remain in effect for all of our area waters into this afternoon, with generally a lighter weather pattern to take hold as high pressure builds in later on today through the midweek time frame. Let's see here. In terms of the weather pattern ahead, this is generally the weather pattern for the next couple of days. We have cool high pressure that will be building over the region as we get into the next midweek time frame here. Generally clearing and cold conditions today and through this evening. High temperatures generally in the 30s with lows mainly in the teens and 20s. We'll see that in the slides coming up ahead here. In terms of our Tuesday outlook, we are looking for dry weather conditions to continue with, again, that gradually moderating temperature pattern to take hold. As we get into Thursday and Friday, we do have that rain chance starting to increase as we get into later Thursday and Friday with, again, those drier conditions taking hold on the other side of the cold front that will cross the region behind that weather system on Friday. Taking a look at the weather pattern here for the rest of the day here in terms of temperatures, we do have a good amount of sunshine for most of the area here today. Generally not a whole lot of warmth to go along with it, unfortunately. So our wind chill values will remain in the 20s to perhaps the low 30s for most of the area today with that northwest wind maintaining through the day here. Once that wind kind of lies down a little bit tonight into tomorrow, generally, those are more or less the air temperatures overnight. So generally dropping back into the upper teens to low 20s for wind chills tonight. But generally, what you see is what you get here. Just a cold period here for today and tonight, with the caveat that we do warm up as we get into the remainder of the week here. Taking a look at the accumulation forecast for rainfall, this is going to be rainfall as you look at the remainder of the week here. This is generally Thursday night and Friday morning that you're going to be looking at what you see there on the right. So generally up ahead of that cold front coming through later Thursday and Friday is some light rainfall that'll move through the region. Certainly not any drought busting rainfall for sure, but some welcome rain nonetheless, and it will be a warmer weather pattern as well as you look at the forecast summary here. Again, typically just some slow gradual warming as you get through the next couple of days here. So when we get out of the freezer here the next day or so, and then we get back to normal temperatures for the seasonal level on Wednesday, and then we warm back above normal Thursday and Friday of next week or this week, and then as you get into the weekend and early next week, generally seasonable temperatures for that time frame late this week into early next. In terms of low temperatures, generally the coldest weather, as you can see once again in the near term here tonight for sure, and then gradual warming that continues through the remainder of the week. And then the rain chances, again, that rain chance is highest as you get into Thursday night into Friday morning, then drying back out, and then another weather system looks across late next weekend, where we do have another chance of rain coming back in the picture next weekend. 8 to 14 day, generally above normal temperatures favored as you get into the outlook for next week, the 22nd through the 28th. Your normals there on the right. So typically looking at above normal chances, most likely for our temperatures. And then in terms of precipitation, near to below normal is favored for that same period. On the marine side, once again, we do have a small craft advisory that remains in effect across the waters today. That will start to diminish as we get into the remainder of the day here tonight, and then that'll drop late tonight, and then more benign marine conditions following for tomorrow evening. A little bit of a increase in winds once again late tomorrow night on into Wednesday morning as the winds kind of turn around offshore out of the southwest, and then some warmer weather follows as you get into the evening time. Take a look at that marine threat potential for the next 5 days. Generally, for the most part, diminishing threats as you get into the next couple of days here. Once again, that small craft risk tomorrow night on into Wednesday morning with the southwesterly winds that'll be building, and that southwesterly wind will continue as you get into Thursday night. Out ahead of that weather system that crosses the region, with kind of bleeding on into the day on Friday. And here is your cross section for the wind summary as you get into next week. Typically, you generally see that wind direction kind of turn around to the southwest as you get into the midweek time frame and the late week time frame, and then our winds turn back around to the west northwest late this weekend into early next week. So generally, just a couple of windows for some small craft potential for the remainder of this week. But more or less, more quieter conditions, so to speak, on the marine side of things over the next several days. Similar outlook here on the waves, generally remaining elevated here into the remainder of the day here, and gradually diminishing as you get into tonight, into tomorrow, with our winds kind of lying down, with the winds kind of turning back offshore again. But do start to increase once again as you get into later Wednesday night into Thursday, as our winds kind of switch back around to the southwest. As far as significant seas for that time frame, again, generally looking at 5 to 7 footers going to be an issue along the coast, hence the small craft advisory that remains in effect. Generally, that will be diminishing with time here today and tonight. And then some occasional wave quakes starting to be an issue with that southeasterly wind wave starting to increase as you get into that period, with our southwesterly winds starting to increase tomorrow night. And certainly, it's really about it on the weather side of things at this time. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a line through the usual channels that you see there on the right. Otherwise, we will talk with you later this week. Have a great week, everyone.